Hello students, good morning. I am Sangeeta Mansukhani and this is the video number 48, and in this video I will be explain exercise question number 12th to 18th. These exercise question related from chapter number 8, D and F block elements. So let us start. Question number 12. What are interstitial compound and why are such compounds well known for transition metals? So, what are interstitial compound? I already discussed in chapter and second time repeat this question. So, interstitial compound made by transition element, so prepared by heating together the transition metal with non-metal, and during the formation of the such compounds the non-metallic atoms occupy the holes between the larger metal ions, that is means small atoms enter in metallic ion transition metal, like non-metallic elements like nitrogen, carbon, boron, hydrogen, so enter in metal. If nitrogen occupies holes, so known as nitrides, carbon occupies the holes, so carbides, boron occupies the holes, so known as borides, and hydrogen occupy holes known as hydrides. So example like Mn4n, manganese tetramanganese nitride, titanium nitride, zirconium hydride, and vanadium carbide. So these example of interstitial compound. Next question, question number 13th. How is the variability in oxidation state of transition metal different from that of non-transition metals? Variability, that is means transition metals represent different types of oxidation state comparison than non-transition metal. So the variability in oxidation state of transition metal is main special property. Reason, entering of electrons in incomplete d orbital. Then after difference in oxidation state, like vanadium present in second oxidation state, third, fourth and fifth. But in non-transition element, difference of two in different oxidation state due to the reason inert pair effect, like lead second and lead fourth. This is the non-transition metal. So transition metal continue represent and very less difference, but in non-transition element, see, non-transition element difference of two in different oxidation state, like Pb second and then Pb fourth. Then describe the question number 14th. Question number 1. Describe the preparation of potassium dichromate from iron chromate. So preparation of K2Cr2O7, and this question I already completely discussed in the chapter. So this question is your homework. So first you see and then practice. Then question number 2. What is the effect of increasing pH on a solution of potassium dichromate? So what is the effect? What is the effect of increasing pH on a solution of potassium dichromate? So dichromate ion CrO4 2 minus and acidic solution increase pH. So first in acidic solution chromate ion convert into the dichromate ion, and dichromate ion in alkaline solution like increase pH, that is means basic. So see a dichromate ion again convert into the chromate ion. So if increasing pH, alkaline nature of solution, so dichromate ion convert into the chromate ion. Question number 15th. Describe the oxidizing action of potassium dichromate and write the ionic equation for its reaction. So first we have to represent oxidizing action. So K2Cr2O7 is a strong oxidizing agent. We have already discussed in chapter. Potassium dichromate is strong oxidizing agent in acidic medium, and it's used in volumetric analysis as a primary standard. So its oxidation reaction, dichromate ion Cr2O7 2 minus plus 14H plus and 6 electron. So electrode potential is 131.33 volt. So dichromate ion convert into the chromium plus 3 ion and 7H2O. This is the oxidation reaction of dichromate ion. Then after ionic reaction with iodide ion. So dichromate represent ionic reaction in acidic solution, but different reactant we take. First we with iodide ion. So dichromate in acidic solution 14H plus 6 electron. This is the common reaction of dichromate ion in acidic solution. Then with iodide ion, so 2I minus, so convert into the I2 plus 2 electron remove. 2I minus convert into the I2 removal by 2 electron. So equal electrons, here 6 electron, here 2 electron. So multiply 3, then equal the 6 electron and then cancel. So then total reaction Cr2O7 2 minus 14H plus and 2I minus multiply 3. 2I minus multiply 3. So 6I minus, then right hand side 2Cr3 plus and the I2 multiply 3 is 3I2 and then 7H2O. This is the overall reaction. Then second, dichromate ion react with iron second solution. So first with we write reaction in acidic solution. So dichromate ion Cr2O7 2 minus plus 14H plus plus 6 electron convert into the 2Cr3 plus 7H2O. This is the ionic dichromate ion in acidic solution. This is the common reaction. Then iron second solution, that is means Fe2 plus convert into the Fe3 plus by removal of 1 electron. So equal to electrons. So this equation multiply by 6. Then write overall reaction Cr2O7 2 minus 14H plus and 6 electron cancel by 6 electron and left hand side Fe2 plus multiply 6 Fe2 plus, right hand side 2Cr3 plus and plus 7H2O and 6 Fe3 plus. Third reaction with H2S. So first we write common reaction of dichromate ion. Then after H2S convert into the sulfur plus 2H plus 2 electron. So here 2 electron given. So multiply 3. So equal electron and then cancel. Then total overall total reaction we write Cr2O7 2 minus 14H plus and here 2 6. So minus and then 8H plus H2S multiply 3 3H2S, right hand side 2Cr3 plus 7H2O and then multiply S 3S. So these are ionic reaction with iodide ion, second is with iron second solution and third is with H2S. Question number 18. Predict which of the following will be colored in aqueous solution. Titanium 3 plus. So first, colored in aqueous solution. So which are colorful? So those ions are colorful in which incompletely filled d orbital. Completely fully filled and vacant d orbitals ions are colorless. So one by one we check. First given titanium 3 plus. So titanium 3 plus, first we write in ground state electronic configuration. So titanium 22 atomic number, configuration 3d24s2. Then in oxidation state given titanium 3 plus, that is means removal 3 electrons. So 3d1 1 unpaired electrons, that is means it is colorful transition element. Then second vanadium 3 plus given. So first we write ground state configuration 3d3 4s2 and v3 plus. So 3 electron removed, so 3d2. So 2 unpaired electron, that is means it is also colorful. Then copper plus 1. So in ground state copper configuration 3d10 4s1 and copper plus, so 3d10 fully filled configuration, that is means it is colorless. Scandium 3 plus, 21 scandium in ground state 3d1 4s2 and scandium 3 plus, so 3d0. No unpaired electron, that is means it is colorless. Mn 2 plus. So in ground state 25 Mn 3d5 4s2 In ground state 3d5 4s2. So Mn2 plus Mn2 plus, so 3d5 5 unpaired electron, so colorful. Fe3 plus, in ground state 26 atomic number 3d6 4s2. Fe3 plus 3 electron remove, so 3d5 5 unpaired electron, so it is colorful. Then cobalt 2 plus, so cobalt 2 plus, in ground state 27 atomic number 3d7 4s2. Cobalt 2 plus 2 electron remove, so 3d7 3 unpaired electrons, so colorful. So only for copper plus and scandium 3 plus, both are colorless, because in copper plus full filled and scandium 3 plus no unpaired electrons, so both are colorless, and other are colorful because due to the presence of incompletely filled d orbital, that is means unpaired electron are present. So this is property, coloring property based on unpaired electron. If unpaired electron are present, that is means colorful. No unpaired electron, that is means d0, d half filled, d0, that is means vacant, otherwise full filled, so no represent colorful colorless property. So next question I will be explain in next video. Thank you so much.